People with autism hate applied behavior analysis, especially those who have been through it. The problem is, there aren't that many alternatives that are commonly offered to people who have autism. ABA is widespread and forced upon many people. Don't panic if you're worried about going into ABA though, because I am here to save the day with ethical alternatives to ABA. Let's get it going into our list, and remember, not everything will work for everyone. First up, cognitive behavior therapy, or CBT. CBT is one of, if not the most common alternative to ABA. CBT is one of the biggest psychotherapy methods around. Psychotherapy, or talk therapy, is commonly used to help people cope with all sorts of conditions, CBT especially so. CBT is used from anything, from autism to chronic pain to PTSD. In CBT, you and a therapist go over your thoughts and behaviors. One of CBT's main goals is to get rid of negative thoughts and behaviors. This can lead to a lot of controversy that I will get to in a second. CBT therapists work with you to figure out what thoughts are negative and then teach you to reframe them to become positive thoughts. There will often be homework during CBT. This can be time-consuming and can include things like writing down problematic thoughts and then figuring out how to eliminate them farther down the line. CBT is quicker than most therapies, with 5 to 20 weeks for timelines, making it overall cheaper than most. CBT also has its criticisms, but it is, in my opinion, more ethical than ABA. The reasons I hesitate to recommend CBT are similar to the reasons I hesitate to recommend ABA. Don't get me wrong, CBT is better than ABA, but not as much as I would hope. CBT, like ABA, can have problems with input from the autist. Most everything in CBT is up to the therapist's discretion, like what thoughts are problematic and what thoughts are not. Also, because CBT focuses on the problem or thoughts or actions, it doesn't always get rid of the root cause. This can cause relapses, and CBT is considered by some to be a temporary solution. Some people say that CBT is based on gaslighting, which could be true, trying to change your thoughts by telling yourself that they aren't true or that they're wrong. Enough said about CBT. 3 rainbow infinity signs. Next up, occupational therapy and physical therapy. Both of these are good options for their respective goals. OT is good for teaching skills to gain or regain independence, and PT is good for gaining physical independence, mobility, strength, and other physical aspects of life. Like ABA, they both teach skills. However, most of these skills can be better applied to real life and don't focus on just eliminating problem thoughts and behaviors. Occupational therapy, or OT, is tailored to a person's needs, so skills that are applicable to the person will be taught. OT teaches a very large range of skills, depending on what the autist needs. Some autists learn to drive in OT, while others learn to get dressed and take care of themselves. Basically, whatever life skills you need, OT has. For children and teenagers, OT is often given in a school environment. In school OT, the focus is on helping autists learn, have fun, and overall thrive in school. Occupational therapy is also used with people with other conditions, many of them physical. The main reason it is used for people with autism is because autism is considered a developmental disorder. A developmental disorder is a disorder that can slow development. I don't consider autism a disorder, but is medically called one. Occupational therapists will look at medical history and needs to figure out what goals and skills are needed to be taught in session. The length of OT treatments range from a few weeks to a few months or more. One question I had when I was researching was, what is an occupation in OT? The answer to that is as follows. Occupations are things that people do or want to do to support their daily lives. Some occupations that people can do include working, going to school, driving, self-care, making and eating meals, managing medications, and just about anything else that's a life skill. OT is a good option because it can help you gain or maintain independence and perform day-to-day tasks more easily. Next, physical therapy. Physical therapy is fairly similar to OT in the sense that it helps you learn skills and gain mobility and strength. As I said earlier, autism is considered a developmental disorder. Slowed physical development is part of some cases of autism. PT is mostly used in cases where gross and fine motor skills are lacking compared to our neurotypical counterparts. Most of these cases come with a side of low muscle tone as well. PT is good for improving strength and increasing coordination in anyone. Autism isn't PT's main use, as it is mostly used for other conditions, as well as to help people recover from injuries. Physical therapists help autists learn exercises and stretches that they can use to improve mobility and strength. Often, during your first session, the therapist will go over your medical history and do a physical. This will allow them to personalize your therapy to best improve your strength and mobility. One thing I would note about both OT and PT is that they teach skills that can make someone with autism seem more normal. ABA does a similar thing, but OT and PT don't try to mask stereotypical autistic actions. Instead, they give you extra tools in your tool belt to be successful. I definitely prefer OT and PT, as ABA provides less benefits and is more conversion therapy-esque. 4 rainbow infinity signs for OT and PT. Something I actually have experience with are humanistic approaches to therapy. Humanistic approaches can be confusing, however, as humanistic therapies and humanistic approaches to therapies are similar, but not the same. Humanistic therapies are client-led and often focus on reflection and acceptance, not trying to change the issues the client may be having. Humanistic approaches are similar in the sense that it requires you to open up to the therapist, but you can actually fix the issues through other therapy. Humanistic approaches are ways to look at and do other therapies, like creative arts therapy. I have a bias towards humanistic approaches because they work for me, but it might be more difficult for you to open up to them. For me, it even took a while to fully open up to my therapist. Both parties have to understand and trust one another in order for a humanistic approach to work successfully. Humanistic approaches can look different depending on the therapist, but they mostly take a more personal approach to therapy. One thing that might make a humanistic approach difficult for someone is that it requires a lot of trust and being very involved in the therapy. One issue parents might have with it as well is that it's basically 100% holistic. There aren't as many stats involved compared to things like CBT and ABA. These therapists are also more specific than just any old therapist and may be harder to find. Overall, however, I give humanistic approaches to therapy 4 rainbow infinity signs. Finally, creative arts therapies. These are a whole groups of therapies that are creative and have good results. I like them because I consider myself creative, creating these videos, articles, and also my secret music project. When I do a creative arts therapy, it can help me improve my creative skills while also teaching me how to express and manage my emotions. There are similar downsides to all of them, mostly being unforeseen triggers, but for me, that doesn't outweigh the pros of creative arts therapy. Most creative arts therapies also improve cognitive function and enhance social skills. But let's go more in depth into a couple. First up, one I'm very interested in, music therapy. If you know me personally, you know that I have a music project I do on the side. Music therapy is great for helping me learn music and play an instrument, sing, and so much more, while also being a therapist. Music therapy can also lessen stress and anxiety. Art therapy is what you would think of when you hear creative arts therapies. It is based more on the fine arts like painting, drawing, or sculpting. Art therapists use art to help others process emotion, express thoughts, and recover from trauma. In most art therapy sessions, you create art, sometimes with the help of the therapist, and then go over its meaning and what it evokes in you. If you're interested in fine arts, you should definitely check art therapy out. A third type of creative arts therapy is dance and movement therapy, or DMT for short. DMT is a great way to build self-confidence and help get emotions out in an effective way. Often used to improve social, emotional, and physical connections, DMT also helps people learn to dance and improve themselves. Through motion, a DMT therapist can help you understand your emotions, track your breath and sensations, guide movements, and help you process emotion. There's some physical risks like falling, but as always, the benefit list long outweighs the con list. Just a note, for all these creative therapies, you don't have to be creative or good at these types of things in order to do them. The therapist will work at your speed and at your level so that you can help improve. The last main type of creative arts therapy is drama therapy. Drama therapy uses theater techniques like acting, improvisation, role-playing, and more to help achieve therapeutic goals. The big goals of most drama therapy sessions are to achieve personal growth, self-awareness, improve social skills, and connect to your emotional and physical health, as well as improve overall quality of life. Drama therapy is sometimes done in groups, as drama is often done better together. Drama therapy can also help you understand and cope with emotions and traumas. I give 3.5 rainbow infinity signs to creative arts therapy. That's the video. I think it's say that you have options other than ABA. Want to know why we dislike ABA? Check out this video right here, or check out this video right here that YouTube recommends for you. Go out there and be amazing, and we'll see you in the next one.